Is this live? Is this working? Yeah, okay, cool. I'm here. We're doing stuff. Fun times ahead. Okay, so hi. Okay. Hi. My name is Lisluted. Though in this setting, I think I would prefer to go by Towers. And I write books. I've written some books. Here they are. Here's some of them. Here's a couple of them. There's more, but these are the ones I want to talk about today. This one is ebook available for pre-order, coming out on the 4th. And these will be available before then, so you can buy them and have them starting to ship out to you, because I know that these take a little while to ship out, especially hardcovers like this one. So yeah, mostly today is about you guys asking questions and getting potential answers, and the lighting I have is dreadful, and I'm so sorry. I'm trying to. Oh, let's hang on. I can. Does that help? Not a little bit. Yeah, so it is what it is. We're gonna talk about stuff. So yeah, this one is a book 2. So obviously this one is a sequel to another book. This is the first one. This one is out on Kindle, Kindle Unlimited, paperback, hardcover, and an audiobook for it is coming out soon. I don't have a date on that, but it's soon. Done by a very, very lovely lady. So yeah. What else is there? A whole bunch of stuff. I have a bunch of stuff I want to talk about. We're gonna get there. There's an order to this madness, I promise. First, I probably need to do a thing. Let's see. This. Just kind of mess with the world. Here we go. Okay. I know what I'm doing, I promise. I know what I'm doing. So yeah, we'll talk about stuff. You guys can ask questions, or I'm just gonna sit here and ramble, which is fine. That's not how I spell words. Okay, cool. That's done. Probably should have done that before rambling about what we're talking about, but it's fine. It's totally fine. So, yeah. While we wait eagerly for the release of this one, I should probably talk about some of the stuff that happened in here, and what things are gonna be really important moving forward for those of you who may not have a perfect memory, or may not, or may just be curious as to what my thoughts as the author are for what's important to remember. So, yeah. You open up, and this story, and well, let's do a series overview first, I think, because there's a lot. Well, it feels like a lot to me, anyway. It's probably nothing compared to freaking anything some other authors make. Like, I know this entire series combined together is only like half of a Brandon Sanderson novel, but it's fine. I'm not a robot like he is. But yeah, This series is about this girl, Serafina Stewart. Born in Massachusetts and raised there all her life. Little town, nothing too special. Just a regular university city. Lots of snow. Well, except for one little tiny thing. Mom's a witch. And, well, and she's always known that. Like, it isn't like a big, like, gasp, Mom's been special this entire time and hasn't told me. Like, no, there's none of that. Because, I don't know. Those reveals always felt like meh to me. So I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do my own thing. So yeah, she always knew about magic. She doesn't practice magic because of reasons. And by the way, I'm going to spoil this a little bit. So, I mean, I'm going to try not to, but expect mild spoilers. Just in general. So yeah, she's tried magic in her life, but for reasons she can't cast at all. Which is why her parents never sent her to magic school before this. But fates have other plans. So after deciding that human school didn't work out, she decides, let's give this whole magic school a thing. And she practiced and she studied for a year with her mother, who, taught at the school and went to this school. So she more or less knows pretty much what to expect as far as the entrance exam went. And she passes. Yay! Which I don't think is a spoiler that happens in the first chapter. Like, obviously she passes the entrance exam. The book is named after the school. It'd be weird if she didn't go. And yay, she's there at school. And oh no, this has gone wrong almost immediately. Because it's never that easy. Getting in was the easy part. And it's ending there every day. And she's all like, I've been... So, okay, the titular towers for the school's name and the book name and kind of the series name, because the series is called Tower of Memories. So towers are kind of important, especially the one that picks Serafina. It's called Dragon Tower. It's the title of this one. And the problem with Dragon Tower is that it's been closed for 100 years for reasons that no one knows. At least no one alive. Yeah. What else? So she's like, oh no, well, what am I going to do now? And the other 4 kids are also thinking that. Because there's 5 of them. There's Serafina. There's Celica Felgraces, who is the first one we actually get a name for. Not the first one we meet, technically. Technically, we meet Russell first, because he has a speaking part. He doesn't introduce himself until way later, because they get busy with stuff, with what's about to happen, what I'm about to talk about. And yeah. Right, so Celica Felgraces, who is 1/4 dark elf, and has some quirks to her that we're gonna get that we're not gonna discuss today, maybe. Again, if you read the book, you're like, oh yeah, she's yeah. And we have Fethris Nightcall, the next one we get named more, which is this guy. He's on the cover of this one. And Fethris is cool, I guess. Oh, by the way, Celica has purple magic. And Fethris has green magic, which is why his book is green. It's not from his perspective. It's just, he's just on it because he's cool. And yeah. And the other dragon we meet is Jarek Quicksilver and, of course, Russell Kingsley are all of the 5 dragon students. Or all the students that were picked by Dragon. Yeah, the towers choose the students. They're like, I want this one, and I want this one, and I want this one. There are lots of students in this one, but these 5 are mine, says Dragon Tower. Well, Dragon Tower didn't speak yet. It does, but not at that point in the story. What else do we get? I know what happens in my book. I wrote it. I spent many, many months writing this. I know what happens in it. I promise. I'm just rambling today. Oh, right. So we meet our dragon students and we get to, and they're not really sure what to do with these kids for a minute because it's been closed for 100 years. So they're like, so the main staff member we meet at this point is named Vivian Hearth. And she's kind of in charge, but not really. Like, she's not like she's not the headmaster. Overall in the school's hierarchy, I'd say she's about third. Oh, pardon me. So, yeah, so she goes to this other Professor Delic. It's like, take these kids, and since we're not sure what we're going to be doing with them, at the very least, show them around the school, because got to do something with them, at least for now, and they'd have to do that anyway. So, it's something. It's better than them just sitting around waiting for, a decision that's not going to come for a while. So, and he's like, yeah, I'll do that. And of course, part of the story is like, let's go to Dragon Tower. Let's see what all the fuss is about. I'm like, oh, it wouldn't be fun for you all to try the door. I'm sure this will have terrible consequences. Got to the part where it has terrible consequences because Serafina opens it on accident. Well, okay, she tries it, right? She's like, I'll go up to the tower and I'll be like, open sesame, and it'll be funny. Not that anybody but Russell gets the reference for reasons. But, she's like, oh, this is be fun. This is fine. Everything's fine. And the door opens and it's not fine anymore because it's full of spiders. Very deadly spiders. Very, very deadly, very massive, deadly spiders that try to eat Serafina. So, yeah, it doesn't go well. But something very important does happen, besides the general opening of Dragon Tower, is that she meets someone in there. She meets a entity of some kind that is glowing, see-through, and seems to have some knowledge or awareness of what's going on around her. So obviously, Serafina mistakes this for a ghost because, come on. In her defense, it's a glowing, transparent person's talking to you. Yeah, ghost is a pretty fair guess. It's not accurate, but, can't blame Serafina for getting confused. One positive thing about nearly getting eaten by spiders is actually that it leads her to cast her first spell ever in her entire life. Yay! And then she immediately passes out because her body's not used to casting for obvious reasons. But, it is what it is. And then she goes to after that, she goes to healer place. She wakes up in the healer place, and it's called the healer's wing. I should use the correct terms. I made these terms. I should use them properly. If I can't remember to use these terms correctly, you guys probably won't. It's fine. It's all fine. The lighting of this angle is so bad. I'm so sorry. Yay, the pains of learning how to live stream. I know what I'm doing, I promise. What else is in here? Oh yeah, healer wing. So, talk, and, we see Vivian Hearth again, and Serafina talks with her parents. And she's like, yeah, I know I nearly died, but I'm staying because I cast a spell for the first time, and that's everything I ever wanted. That's all I wanted from this adventure. She's going to get a lot more than what she wanted, but that's life. Especially when you're the star of a YA fantasy book. Yeah. And then a bunch of other stuff happens, and they're like, since it's full of spiders and hasn't been inhabited by people for 100 years, it's not be something we might be. You were gonna give you all to different places for a while, so we get to see the other towers. Well, they try to get Dragon Tower up and running again, back to a place where it's actually habitable by humans and things other than giant arachnids. So Seraphina spends her time in Pixie Tower, which is why you see pink on her uniform here, as opposed to the dragon red that is this. And we also learn that Seraphina's magic is pink, which is kind of important for reasons. Don't worry about it, though. It's a lot of that. I'm going to be saying a lot of that, I think. It's just like, yeah, the thing is happening. Don't worry about it, but actually do worry about it a little bit because it's going to be important later. Magic systems are fun. I like my magic system. Pretty colors and meanings and stuff. Although not every color has its traditional meaning. Like normal colors, at least here in the US. So I play with that a little bit. So don't ever make assumptions because they're bound to be wrong. Well, I mean, sometimes they're correct, sometimes it's all wishy-washy. Anyway, so yeah. Seraphina goes to Pixie Tower while they try to figure out what to do about Dragon Tower. And she goes to class. That's a good chunk of this book is just Seraphina going to class and meeting her new friends and would-be tower mates and actual tower mates for the time being. The most important pixie she meets is Angelina Farsi, who kind of takes on the self-appointed role of friend. It's that classic Seraphina, highly introverted. Angelina's highly extroverted. It's just like introvert spotted. I'm adopting you. You don't get a say in this. And Seraphina is just like, I guess I'm stuck with this now. But they make it work. Probably because Angelina's magic is red. Again, that doesn't mean a thing. I should probably get into it, but I don't know. I mean, is that a spoiler? Because we don't really get details on the magic system until this book. This one is the one that has details on the magic system. I know it takes me a whole extra book to get details on the magic system. Am I losing my mind? Probably. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Lots of going to class. Oh, and I should probably mention that Angelina's hobbies include glitter, stickers, and seeing the future. Yes, that last one is really important. And we do get one vision here in this book. She gets more visions later that are more important. And she learns some other stuff too. It's in her attempting to see more of Seraphina's future after the first attempt doesn't really go that well. When they realize that, oh wait, Seraphina's inability to cast is actually the fault of something else. It's not like something weird's going on here. But I won't tell you what that is. You have to read it. Look, I have priorities, okay? I mean, if you've read this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. At least you should be. You should. It's kind of a big deal. You could probably guess it if you read some of these chapter titles. Let's see. Yeah. So that happens. And the next big plot point is that towards the end, they're like, yes, we're opening Dragon Tower properly, and we're going to get the 5 of you, Seraphina, Celica, Fethris, Jarek, Russell, into Dragon Tower properly and in dragon uniforms. Which is the same as all the other uniforms, because it's a uniform, so they're all basically the same except palette swapped for each other. So Pixie has this bright pink overcoat that Seraphina hates the entire book. She's just like, this thing is ugly, and I hate it, and I want to set it on fire. Because that's Seraphina's thought process. Seraphina wants to burn things. I mean, her name means fire, so, or her name is connected to the general idea of fire, although it's not quite. Yeah. And I noticed there's a quote here on the back. Like statues, apparitions, invisible knocking, doors opening by themselves. We here at Dragon Tower have it all. That's said sarcastically by Jarek at some point. I won't tell you when, but yeah, it's a fun quote. You should probably read the description of the book too. Seraphina Stewart has been waiting her whole life for a chance to attend the Towers of Nine School of Magic Study and Practice. Yes, that's its whole name. Most people just call it the Towers of Nine. Yeah, it's a little clunky. I did that on purpose. Now the day has come for her chance to achieve her dreams. Too bad you can't cast spells. Between that and the ghosts, school is going to be a lot more complicated than she ever planned on. Yeah. She has no idea what's in store for her. I mean, I do because I'm evil, but, it's fine. But yeah, that's book 1. But this summer, hopefully it will show up. Oh, I hate the lighting. This is the last time I do this early in the morning. Next time I'm doing this, it'll be later in the afternoon. Hopefully the sun will behave. The only lighting I'm currently getting is from a window like 20 feet that way that doesn't really have a curtain, and it's just bright. I've tried blocking it out a little bit with a plant that's currently behind the computer. Because this is a webcam, so you guys are on my laptop, and it's not really working all that well, to be honest. But, I'm making it work for now. So, yeah. That was book 1. Book 2. I should probably read the back first before we talk about it. This is Centipede. Because Fethris talks to bugs, and they talk back to him, and they do things when he asks them to. Because that's the kind of magic he's choosing to learn. Look, dragons are weird. That's kind of their thing, is that all of those dragon students are kind of weird, which is kind of what makes them dragons. So, yeah. Just enough space for 5 people of questionable judgment. One of my favorite lines in this book. It's in the first episode. First chapter, I should call it. In this. Well, okay, they're called episodes in the thing because the whole Tower of Memory series started as a serial on Kindle Vella. And so you can read it there too if you want. If you want weekly updates. The latest episode dropped today, episode 91, which is 11 episodes ahead of the ending of this. So, yeah. That's fun. And, yeah, let's read the back of this. Seraphina has survived her first month as a student at the Towers of Nine School of Magic Study and Practice. Yeah, this takes place over the course of 1 month of the first school year. And there's 5. No, I don't want to talk about it. If I think too hard about how long this series could end up being, if it spirals much more out of my control, I'm probably going to break down crying. Now she and the other 4 dragons are finally moved into the tower that chose them on that fateful day. But it won't give up its secrets so easily. Even to those it's already deemed worthy of living within its walls. Seraphina is just trying to get through the school year without any more incidents. Dun, dun, dun. And again, this month was kind of crazy, so she's just like, if everything could just stay calm for a few weeks, that would be great. Doesn't happen. But, doesn't stop her from wanting it. So, yeah, anyway, This book opens up with our first night in Dragon Tower. And the first thing these 5 kids do is hold a seance. This is why they're dragons and not really any of the other towers. Did I mention the part where these kids are weird? Which is the point. Like, just like, why are you like this? This is why the other towers didn't like you that much. I mean, they didn't help. It did not make that easier. So, yeah, that's fun. And also, these rascals decided, oh, yeah, there's a student council. And each tower picks a member for the student council because it's a representative council, because democracy, and because it's loosely based off some Greek, or loosely based off Greek stuff. I mean, it's not 1-to-1, it's not meant to be, but it's inspired by it. And they're like, you know who should represent our tower? The girl who opened it. And Seraphina's like, this is a bad idea. I'm bad with people. And she is. She's terrible at people. If she was better at people, we wouldn't be in this situation. But, it's fine. Everything is fine. I'm kidding. Nothing is fine. Everything's going to burn down, probably. So, yeah. First year, who's only been going to the school for a month and barely knows anything about the magical world, is now representative of her tower. Is now the representative of her tower. To a bunch of older kids. It goes about as well as you think. Most of them are indifferent to her, admittedly. But a couple of them really don't like her. I mean, I think there's only one person on the representative council who genuinely thinks positively of Seraphina. Which is not great, considering there's 8 of them. There's 9 towers, so there's 9 representatives once Seraphina joins. So, and all of their last names are Egyptian gods, because I thought it was fun. I also like making the reader hyper aware of Seraphina's otherness as she is. Like, she is aware she does not really belong here. But, that this is where the chips have fallen, so this is the situation she's got to make it work. Somehow. And she kind of does, but kind of doesn't. I mean, one of them tries to duel her, and that does not go well for Seraphina, or for the other person. Lots of things don't go well. Oh, big reveals in this book. Says I shouldn't do a recap since no one's read this yet. Well, that's not for the people who read the serial have read this. So, one of the big mysteries at the end of this book is, why did Dragon Tower close? Why did it stay closed for so long? And why is Lucinda, who is Seraphina's mother, been so secretive about her side of the family? Like, Seraphina knows nothing about her mother's side of the family. All she knows is that she has a grandmother and some great uncles and an aunt none of these people she has names for. She's never met any of them. She doesn't even know, like, her mother's coven name. She doesn't know any of this information because her mother's been very secretive about it for reasons. So figuring out the answers to those questions might be useful. We do get the name of, we do find out, where Lucinda came from here. We do learn about her family. We do learn about her kind of origin story. We're going to get more into it in the later book, though. So, yeah, we get talks into the magic system. We get into Lucinda's family, her family history, and we learn the main motive we learn the identity of the person responsible for Seraphina's inability to cast. It's probably the least spoilery way I can phrase that. Again, risk of spoilers for this first book. And yeah. What else is in here that I should probably mention is in here? Oh, the bonus episode, that's only exclusive to the book version. You will not find this in the serial, so that is at the very end of this, the longest. It's like a decent chunk. I think that's it. No, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, about this, you can kind of see it. About this much is just a bonus content at some of this book from a different perspective. Although that perspective is full of spoilery things, so I can't give you too much detail on it. Just know that if you've read, that once you finish reading this, you're like, oh, that changes some interactions in this first book. And it does, or at least it should. Yeah. What else do I need to talk about? Yeah, that's everything I'm talking about, spoiler free. So yeah, very definitely fun stuff in this Tower Memory. Interesting stuff I have cooking up in the Tower Memory series. So yeah, fun times ahead. What else do I want to get to? Oh, I should probably mention, since it is Ace Week, or at least it is on Twitter, that both characters that are on these covers, Seraphina and Fethris, are both on the spectrum. Seraphina is way into the Arrow spectrum, though. She's just not interested. Romance, boys, looking pretty, that's not on her priority list. She does not care at all. When asked what her type is, her response is chocolate cake. So, that's fun. At least I think it's fun. And Fethris is just kind of awkward about it. But that's about. I think that's the main stuff. I don't know. So yeah, this is coming out on the 4th in paperback, in hardcover, and on Kindle. Won't be on Kindle Unlimited, but it will be on ebooks. So whatever format makes you happy, you can grab that. Although I do highly recommend reading this one first, because this takes place literally hours after the ending of this one. So less than hours, like less than an hour. Vivian leaves, they all decompress for a minute, and then they immediately go into books two's nonsense. Oh, another big question that this gets into, but it doesn't actually answer, is we get more information on the entity Seraphina met within the walls of Dragon Tower on that first day, which they've kind of dubbed Red, because they don't know her name. They don't even know what she looks like. Seraphina has no idea. All they really know is that it's just some student whose face they haven't seen walking around in a dragon uniform. So they're just like, we don't know what's going on with this. I mean, I do, because I wrote it. But, they don't. And neither will you. I mean, you get clues, but nothing's solid. Because I'm the author, and I'm a tease, and I just kind of do whatever I want. What else was there? There was something. I had thoughts and stuff I wanted to talk about, but then I pressed the go live button, and then my mind went blank. But it's fine. So yeah. This yeah. So this first year for Serafina's school life is planned 7 arcs in the serial, which is going to get turned into 7 books. And we have 2, and I'm partially through the third one, though we haven't gotten to the really fun stuff in the third one yet. Yeah, the third one's premise is really, really fun, which is that part of like their regular school year is that there's a parent weekend where the parents get to come and meet all the teachers and spend the night at the school, and everybody gets to hang out and meet and stuff. Obviously, with Lucinda being who she is, there's going to be a lot of built-in drama with that because, she ran off with some human man and then disappeared, and then suddenly, whoop, she's back and she has a kid. And everyone's just like, where have you been? Yeah, it does not go well. It's not going to go very well for Lucinda, but she already knows that. That's one of those things that she expected. It's all cool. Yeah. What else was there? I could show you how far into Arc 3 I am. I will be right back because it's over there. This is what will become book 3 at some point. You can't see that, which is probably the best because that would be spoilery, probably. Russell causing problems. He does that. They all cause problems. There's not a single dragon student who doesn't cause problems at some point or another. It's kind of their thing. I mean, some of it's on accident. Some of it's because they're all little turds. But, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. I should be talking more. I had this whole conversation in my head, and then I went live, and it just felt like poof into the ether. You go. I mean, it is hard to talk because I want to talk about stuff, but it's also hard because it's like I don't want to spoil things. Also, there's stuff you need to remember happened. Pains of being an author. But I chose this life. It's probably. I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. My shelf is a mess. It's an absolute mess. I know it's not like fancy bookshelf. This one's just cookbooks. Well, no, this one's cookbook. This one's the cookbook shelf. This is miscellaneous stuff. That's my shame. Right underneath here is storage for spare copies of my books, including the novellas. Yeah, I have novellas out. My publishing journey has been a while. These 2 that I've also written. Look at how thin they are. They're so tiny. But to be fair, 14-year-old Towers wrote this. I know. This is what I was doing in high school, writing little novellas. They're so small. I should get the paperback sticker pack. difference 10 years makes. But these are two wildly different stories, too. Like, this, Serafina's journey is way different from Alucard's. Alucard was more of a standard hero's journey, but, you know, Serafina is not. Serafina's story is a slice of life story, first and foremost. Just why the first book lacks a main antagonist, and because Serafina is who she is, there's no love interest either. Which is why I indie published, because there is no way a traditional publisher would be like, you have neither a love interest or a central antagonist in this fantasy series? You're on drugs. I'm just like, I want to do what I want. But that's fine. You know, I don't need to sell 10 million copies or whatever. And honestly, the idea of this getting turned into a movie scares me, like genuinely. Like, I would never want that to happen, I don't think. Well, the problem is that odds are it would get like completely butchered, especially in today's Hollywood, because I have no faith in Hollywood's ability to tell a decent story anymore. It is what it is. Anyway, that's everything you need to know, I think, about Tower Memory so far. I might do another one of these before on either the day before launch day or on launch day for this one, depending on how I feel. We'll see. I mean, I had other plans, but it didn't work out quite as I intended. But it's fine. Life happens. I had my stuff going on. Other people had their stuff going on. But it's cool. What else was there? What else is there? I think that's everything, at least for today. Anyway, probably gonna log off for now, and we'll see if do expect there is a non-zero possibility of me doing more of these, in the future. Don't know what they'll be over, but me rambling in front of camera talking about the stuff that makes me happy, which is this. So yeah, I should probably get. So yeah, Towers of Nine, get it on Amazon. Then this one will be out on November 4th, so very soon, very, very soon. But still lots of time to read this. And hopefully very, very soon, you could listen to it. It's this one. And then this one will be most likely turned into an audiobook. I have no idea what the timeline of that will be. So I'm not committing to any statement on that one until I know what the actual timeline of that's going to be. But this is soon. This one's audiobook is soon. Fully expect it within the next couple of weeks. So yeah, thank you for stopping by, and I will hopefully see people next time. And if you have any questions about me, about publishing, about story, about whatever, save them up and we can all ask them then, and then we can all ramble together. It'd be great. Anyway, that is goodbye for now. We'll see you all some other time.